What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the SquadCast. I'm the Delta BB.
I'm Jess.
All ass leprechaun.
Be Queen DA.
Nate's Place.
Hammy.
How the hell are you guys doing?
I'm good.
All right.
Hanging in there for a wonderful Saturday.
So we cut Hammy off last night in Two Drunks in a Bottle. We were talking about actors and who would take place of you and things of that nature. And he had started to talk about if he had someone that he could interview, it would be a certain person. Do you want to re-intervene on that, Hammy?
Well, you mean like yeah, because I believe I said Trump, right? Like, that's the person I'd want to talk to. If I could sit down and talk to one person in this world, that's who I'd want to talk to. Not because he was president, but because he's a billionaire. And you don't become a billionaire by accident. So that's the person I'd want to sit and talk to. He's got a lot of money. He owns so many properties, businesses all over the damn place. I'd like to sit down and pick his brain.
I think, dude, he has had his hands in so many different things. Like I remember watching Dillard No Deal, and they had done a play on it to where he was actually the banker. Like it released out that he was the banker of Dillard No Deal. And then WWE at one point he came out as being like he had bought WWE out from Vince.
Like I think when I think about it, I think about like the cameos he did and stuff, where he wasn't, he's this big billionaire who owns all this stuff, but was never the lead in anything but his own TV show. Look back to Home Alone: Lost in New York.
He just runs into
Kevin McAllister, Macaulay Culkin just runs down the thing, and it's in I forget the name, the Plaza Hotel, which is still standing today and still owned. Well, it's not owned by Trump anymore, but he owned it then. And he was running down the thing, and he asked him if he knew how to get to whatever place, and Trump told him how to do it, turned around and walked away. Like, to think about something that, you look at it nowadays, and people have their own perception of him because of politics. But if you think about what all he's done, Trump casinos, Trump Plaza, all the sporting events that he's hosted, a lot of what you see on TV right now probably wouldn't be there if he didn't give these places venues to start out with. UFC, WWE, or F. You have the different golf courses that were played in tournaments and nationally televised, United States and England. I mean, Jesus Christ, this guy he has to have more than 10 fingers because he's got a finger in everything.
Yeah, at least multiple hands.
And I almost shit when I heard the judgment that was levied against him, $356 million. Like, who in the world gets charged that much for anything? That's a drop in the hat for him, but still, like, that's a lot of fucking money. A lot of money.
I mean, it as much money as he has, it's not going to hurt his pocket.
No.
They're putting him through the ringer, in my opinion, for absolutely like no reason. I can't wait until the Biden presidency is over with, because are things going to come out in the light with them finally? The laptops.
I think the only thing
the deals with the Russians. Giving
I think the only thing
Ukraine
that's a benefit
money
to it is once the president can declassify any document that's classified. So if there's anything that shouldn't be told to anybody right now, can be told to us just because. And knowing, like, I'm not saying that Trump's a good politician. I think it's best that somebody takes his phone away from him and doesn't let him get on Twitter or X or his company that he owns, Truth Social. Maybe don't let him get on there and say stuff because he just puts out some boneheaded stuff sometimes.
I don't know. I like the
but-
boneheaded shit that he posts.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely comical, but then you also have to think like when he gets into office, if he gets back into office, is he going to do? Is he going to guy? It's like, all right, here's all the shit. I talk about draining the swamp. I talk about all this stuff. Washington bad. Boy, they could just throw out all that stuff. He could just declassify all these documents, all these
I think he will.
memos and meetings that are closed door meetings. He could release all of that.
That's
And if
kind of what he
that-
did the first president. Like his first go around is he was like, I want to be transparent. Let's just
Yeah, but he
be
lied to
transparent."
us all. He said he was going to release the UFO documents and didn't. Pisses me off. Then he said he was going to release the Kennedy documents and he did, but half of them were redacted, and they were just black lines.
I don't think he could help with the redactions, and I mean he probably can, but I think he's limited on what could be released.
Well, either way, Trump is one of the most polarizing figures in history. Like, not just political history, pop culture history. I mean, you figure he's the first person in the United States to ever become president without serving in any other office ever. Like, no mayor. He was not an altar boy. He didn't have a room. He was just Donald Trump the businessman, Donald Trump the president. That's, to me, is a feat. Never mind the fact that he has so many businesses, and so many businesses that you don't even know about that are under the Trump brand, that are labeled something else, just because that's how you run business. You don't compile everything under one LLC because then taxes go through the roof. So
That man's definitely taxed a lot. Well, not only that, but think about this too, is that he was president, so he didn't have any political background at all. He was just a businessman, and then Trump the president, like you said. But this man worked for free for the 4 years that he was president.
Yeah, he donated his salary, yeah. I think one of the most gangster things I've ever heard him say, or any politician say, was during one of the presidential debates with Clinton. And she was saying how, he hasn't paid taxes in all these years and blah, blah, blah. And then he got on a microphone and said because he's taken, he's using the same tax breaks that your wealthy billionaire friends take. He goes, you want me to pay my taxes? Change the tax code. So, like, yeah, he openly admitted, like, yeah, I'm exploiting the tax code because I can, because it's legal. That's pretty gangster. Like, that's pretty badass for somebody. Like, he could have lied and said, oh, no, I definitely paid my taxes. He said, no, I haven't paid all my taxes because I don't have to.
Oh, Biden just released not too long ago raising the percentage of how much these billionaires are going to be taxed to like 25%. So let's tax them 25% every year. But you look at our deficit, and even taxing them that much doesn't even put a dent in our deficit at all.
I mean, let's use common sense here, right? You think these guys are billionaires because they woke up and opened up an envelope and there was $1 billion check? No, they own businesses, investments. They're doing something. They got money floating everywhere. So if you're going to say, all right, we're going to raise your taxes, they're going to go, okay, well, in order for me to pay those taxes, I'm going to raise the price of the goods that I'm selling.
That's called
which
inflation.
Which means now your bottle of soda goes from $1.75 or whatever it is to $3. And over the course of the year, now he makes his money that he could just put in a coffer to say, okay, here's my tax money now. And he's still a billionaire, so he could buy whatever he wants and probably just take it out and throw it away.
Yeah. Well, that's probably not Hammy's topic. I just wanted to touch base back on it because we cut him off last night on Two Drunks in a Bottle. But
you get me on business, I can go. I
I
love it.
wanted to bring the controversial topic up. I knew that was going to be a controversial one, just a
Veto.
hair. But does anyone else? Did anyone come to the table tonight with a topic?
I did.
All right, what you got, Tall?
So kind of going back to the podcast we mentioned before, like kind of like as a joke or whatnot, is me or you getting replaced, and who would we choose as our replacement or as the other's replacement? So it kind of had me thinking on this. But if you can meet anybody in the world, and it could be anybody, whether alive or dead, and in any point in their life, because we've all seen a lot of good people and stuff have a bad moment in their life, things just take a different course for them. So alive or dead, and at any point in time in their life, you could spend one day with 24 hours. Who would you choose and why? And kind of like, what would you? Where would y'all go? Would y'all just go and hang out, or would y'all actually do something?
Is there a list of how we're going down through this?
He chose the topic, so
Well, normally it would be the person who gives the topic. Then next in line would be, in this case, Hammy.
it would be Hammy, Steve, or Decoy, Nate, myself, and then Jess.
And then I
See,
would go
mine's
like,
not going to
and
be.
then it would
Mine's
pick
not going to
up.
be anything like what you guys are thinking. You guys are probably thinking celebrities or something crazy.
So,
Like I said,
want
it could be anybody.
so who?
Yeah, I
want to
go meet. I want to go meet my grandfather.
Okay.
Just because that's the guy that raised my mom. That's the guy that ultimately led to what values I have in me, because my mom instilled the values in me. So I want to see, I'd love to sit down and talk to him to find out why he thought that this is how you should raise a family. Because I feel like that system's broken now.
Oh, so you don't agree with it?
No, I do agree with it. Like I'm very like oriented to certain things, right? Like I don't deviate. I don't change my mind every 8 seconds. Like I don't have a mind of a goldfish. I don't do something and then a couple minutes later or the next day change my mind. Like I have this value instilled in me that um, it's called hard work for a reason. And then like you say to people, I used to always grow up, my mom telling me, your work habit can't be a habit if you do it on purpose. Like you can't do things as a habit. You do them because you meant to do them. You can regret it afterwards, but that don't mean that it was an accident. And I'd just love to go back and talk to him and say, now where in the hell did you come up with this stuff? Now he's right off the boat Irish, so like I got red hair. I'm a Blarney, but I want to know where he got his like. If I could even talk to his parents at the same time, that'd be amazing. Just to find out how far back it goes before, or how far back it goes that they've been running the family the way it was.
What you got, Decoy?
Oh, that's a good one for me. I really don't know who I'd really want to spend a lot of time with. Past, present, or current. I would probably say it would probably be down the lines of probably like Marty Sklar or Bob Gurr. One of those two. If you don't know, those are two of the biggest Disney Imagineers that worked with Walt Disney to create like Walt Disney World. And Bob Gurr is actually still alive, and he made all the transportation vehicles, including the monorails for Disneyland and Walt Disney World. So, and this guy had no mechanical engineering degree whatsoever, and he still made cars and trains. So I would like to actually just sit down and actually have a conversation with him. I just can't afford it. It costs a lot of money to go out to California and go to one of his seminars. But that, to me, just to spend a day with him to see his life story and how he worked his way up from being basically just a kid on the street that applied that said, "Hey, I think I could do this," and showed Walt a couple of pictures, and look what he's done.
Yeah.
What you got, Nate?
This one's kind of a tough one for me. But I think one that kind of impacted me is, and I think a lot of people can agree or relate, is Paul Walker. He
Ooh,
was a
yeah.
great actor. He was a great person, and like um, the well-known Fast and Furious franchise, I was obsessed with the first movie when I was little. Like I think I was 6 or something, and that's basically what all got me into cars and stuff. So, like being a fan of the Fast and Furious franchise, and then being a car nut, which I still am. Uh, kind of really owe it to him. So if I had a chance to, go back in time or whatever, and literally just sit, have some coffee, talk about, you know, life and whatnot, I feel like that would be pretty cool. Um,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that's a good one.
yeah, I mean,
'Cause,
he was a really good actor. He was,
yeah, I mean, I remember going to the movies and stuff when these movies were coming out. Like, of course, the first one we didn't really go to, but I want to say around the third or fourth, maybe the fourth, we started going to theaters. Be like all of us, going to watch those movies. So yeah, I mean, he played a big role in stuff like in our era of like growing up and stuff. Like we were big on Fast and
yeah.
Furious.
Yeah, I think I went to the movies the same time around third movie or fourth movie. That's when I
Yeah, I
started
want to say it was
going.
the fourth. I want to say the third one was Tokyo Drift, so it would be fourth
Yeah,
for us.
yeah, but that's pretty much who I would want to go back in time with.
Yeah. All right, BB, what you got for us?
I'd probably go Henry Ford.
Mm.
Uh, like what made you decide just one day like I want to build an automobile and the concept behind it, and what was your intention for it to begin with? Like, if he could see what we have now in transportation, was that your vision? The adaptions and things that we've made in transportation and technology and things that we've added into it, or would you still have stayed simplified and it just have an engine, a steering wheel, a brake, and a pedal, or a brake and a gas?
Hmm.
I think that would be someone that would have been cool to sit down with and like get his ideas behind like why how he became the biggest automobile producer in the world even to this day.
Uh,
Now I'm not a Ford guy at all. I'm all about that bow tie, but
Even though we have one in the driveway.
that's a different that's a whole different story. When your significant other works for a car dealership and it is that blue oval and you can get a 0% interest loan, I mean that's a no brainer.
Yeah, and we got the car for cost, and they knocked 5,000 off the cost.
That's besides the point. Jess, who would you meet?
I would have to go back and see my papa. I want to know. I mean, he's told me stories about how he grew up and stuff like that. I mean, he was born in 1932. I mean, they were picking cotton and they would go hunting for their meals and stuff like that. And I would want to go back to when he was a kid and see how they lived and learn some of the things that he learned growing up that society today does not know and does not respect. My papa was a very hard working man. He worked hard for everything he had. And I want to go to that time and talk to him as like a teenager. And because all the stories that he told me, I mean, you can visualize, you know, how he grew up. But I want to be able to sit and talk and him teach me the ways that it was back then when everything was right.
Hmm.
Because like I said, society today has no idea. We have it easy compared to what they had it then.
I wouldn't say that we have it easy. It is more
Easier though.
Yeah, easier. I mean, they had it pretty bad.
Well, you know, back
Well,
then
if we
the
just don't agree
technology
with it, we just cancel it out now.
that
Veto.
you know how
Yep.
y'all, all of you guys sitting in this chat know my philosophy, and most of you agree. But the goal of the SquadCast, the goal of Two Drunks in a Bottle, is we're uncut, we're unfiltered, and I told Hunter that one day I want to be known for canceling culture. Like I want to be that guy. Let's talk about the most edgy
Yep.
fucking things that we can talk about, and let's cancel this goddamn thing. Cause fuck
Okay.
off. Stop being a fucking snowflake, and let me have my First Amendment right. Because that's what people are pretty much. That's what's happening with this cancel culture. Is you're being suppressed.
Yeah, people lost that leather skin that you built up growing up. I mean, what happened to that? That's what gets me.
But
Mine was
I can
far away.
I can agree with what the whole idea that from say 19 hell you could probably even go like 1980 to now, the world has flipped so much because back then if you wanted to plow the field, you went and plowed the field. Now if you want to plow the field, you could type something into your computer, send it to your harvester, and the harvester can just go up and down the rows. Like we've taken manual labor out of the labor force, and now it's 99% technology, 1% human interaction. Most of your human interaction is done at places like fast food places where and even then it's starting to get automated, right?
Yeah.
Like we have pizza places around here that you could place an order on a kiosk and then one person will make the pizza, put it on a damn conveyor belt, it'll run through the conveyor belt, come out, somebody else puts it in a box and there's your pizza.
I've seen
Where
video of like a fast food place. They were fully automated. It was a whole restaurant fully automated. I don't know how true
Yeah.
it was, but it looked legit.
I think that was McDonald's.
I have
So
when I went to business school, there was a thing that we did, and I believe that I said this on one of the podcasts. I'm not sure if it was this one or Two Drunks, but when I went to business school, now mind you, this was back in 2004. Some of you were still shitting green probably, but we had to do this thing where we had to try to create something that was not invented yet and display it. And me and my group came up with a banana peeler, a thing that would peel your banana for you, right? And then we had this smart ass teacher that after we got done said to us, okay, well the machine peels the banana, but what do you do? What do you do with the peel? Now you have to take the peel off and throw it away. So at that point, why did we have a machine to peel the banana when you could have just done it yourself and saved yourself however much money it was to buy that peeler? Right. So now
Yeah.
you fast forward to today, you can't invent something that's going to make life any easier for somebody than we already have now until there's a new problem to create it.
so like my papa, he would get up before school and feed the animals and work in the field with his mom before school. Then he would walk to school, go to school, come home, work some more in the field until it got so dark they couldn't see.
Now don't forget, going to school, it was uphill both ways.
I
In the
mean,
snow.
it really was. I mean, my papa grew up in um Bucksnort,
Bucksnort, Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Miss ISSI PPPI.
Yeah, Bucksnort, Mississippi. And I mean, it didn't matter the weather. That's what they did. And then, it was either his dad or his brother or his mom or him would go out and they would hunt for their meals. And most of the time they had beans and cornbread and collard greens that they grew in their garden.
Well, collard greens,
Like,
you can just go out and mow the lawn, throw that in a pile of in some water, and cook it up. That's about all that is.
That's any
Just
salad
weeds
for
and
me.
grass.
like my papa taught my dad how to hunt, and who taught me? You know, my papa, they legitimately lived off the land. They had no money. They had no air conditioning. They had no TV, no internet, no radio. None of that was even.
Now, take into consideration when she says hunting, too. It wasn't. We didn't have white-tailed deers in Mississippi in the 1930s, 40s, 50s. I don't think they were introduced or imported to Mississippi until the 70s, maybe, or maybe the mid 60s. So we didn't have a white-tailed deer population. So he wasn't. He was hunting squirrels and rabbits.
Squirrel, bird, rabbit, coon.
And his daddy never wanted anyone. He didn't want them shot in the head. He wanted because his dad liked to eat squirrel brains. So he didn't want them shot in the head.
Right behind the shoulder.
But I feel like we're getting a little off topic, just a hair. Like, so that's your person, Jess. What you got, Hunter?
So the person I would go back, I mean, just to meet would be Kevin Smith. I mean, there's so much with him. Like he's in with like the comics. He's got his own world. You know, as you would think like Marvel has their own universe, but he has that too. He has that own universe that he created, and like all of his movies, like they all sync up together. They're all in that same universe. So to me, I would just go to him like talk with him to see about inspiration. I mean, this dude is like well known, and I mean, I grew up watching a lot of his movies. I want to say my first was either Dogma or Silent Bob Strikes Back, and I remember just kind of watching a couple of movies here and there. And when I found out that they were really all connected, like all of them were in the same universe, that got to me. And then, of course, finding out, he was big with comics and he had his own show that he did, like podcast style. That really hit home for me. So, like, I was big with Kevin Smith. And he does a lot of cruises with Jay, and I've always wanted to like go to a cruise ship and be able to meet him or be able to talk to him, pick his brain with about stuff like that. I mean, 'cause he did a documentary. It was called Clerks with a period at the end, and he talked about how he got started, how he went to school, and how he pretty much made Clerks, which was one of his first film projects. But I mean, just to pick his brain on that, I mean, that would be awesome.
Some of my favorite movies, for sure.
Yeah.
Mallrats.
Oh, there's so many.
Dogma was 100% one of my favorites. I haven't seen Dogma in forever.
It killed me with the controversy and stuff, how everybody kind of hated it, that were a certain group of people. But what killed me the most was like he was in with the crowd that was like the hate crowd they were there to just give him grief. He jumped into the crowd and held up a sign that was just like hating his own movie. People were looking at him like, "Aren't you Kevin Smith?" He's like, "No, no, I'm not him." Like, I mean, that alone just shows his like heart for his movies. Like, fuck y'all, like I'm here. This is what I'm doing. He wasn't scared.
So since Hunter picked his topic first, Hammy, do you have a topic? We'll just go in line.
I do, and I think this will be kind of an interesting one. It's not really a topic. I mean, it is, but it's more of like a compromise. Because our world right now is all digital. Right? You leave your house, you have everything you need in the palm of your hand. You come home, you have everything you need in front of your face at a computer. If you had to give up either your phone or your computer for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
All right, so
and
Steve,
why?
So Steve, that's you first.
Oh, hands down, it'd be my phone. I can do everything else I need to do on the computer, but hands down, I don't need a phone. I mean, 90% of all the calls I get are Robodoll spam calls, wanting me to renew my car insurance at a car that they don't even know what I drive.
Little do they know he doesn't even have a car.
You're right, he has a truck.
Yeah, I got that blue oval sitting out in the driveway.
All right, Nate.
uh, uh, honestly, I'd probably get rid of the computer because realistically, like having a phone is basically like a miniature computer, so you can do a lot of the stuff on your phone. Now that does take away, like gaming on your computer and stuff. But I mean, like your phone's technically like a miniature computer. So I mean, I guess I would kind of go with that. As bad as that sounds, because I'm like I'm I'm one of those who like, man, people don't need phones. Social media is like brainwashing everybody and everything else. So like, I would if someone took my phone, I wouldn't care. But if that's the route we're going, I probably would go with phone because I can look up stuff on there rather than a computer, and I can take it with me if I need to. So I hate to say it, but that's my answer for that.
All right.
So,
I would, if I was to get rid of anything, I would get rid of my phone. I'd keep my computer. I'd probably go back old school. Like if I'm going somewhere and I don't know where I'm going, MapQuest on the computer, print off the directions of where I'm going for my start point, and just MapQuest from there. Or even go even more old school. Let's go to the damn gas station and buy a map. And if I need
Fun
GPS,
fact,
I got a whole fucking map.
they don't have them at the gas station anymore. You have to go to a rest stop.
Whatever.
Really?
But
I
I
don't even think that they actually sell the atlases in Walmart anymore. I haven't seen one in a while.
the people that I talk to,
You got to go to Books a Million.
the people that I talk to on a daily basis, can message me on my computer. I got Messenger on Facebook, so family, friends. I got you guys here on Discord, so I don't really need my phone. I can wait till I get home. I work at a computer all day long. I can check all this crap on a computer, any computer. Mine would definitely have to be. I'm gonna get rid of the phone. It'd probably save me about $400, $400 a month too, getting rid of it. So I'm good.
Well, babe, I hate to tell you, but I'd give up my computer.
All right. Well, what's that?
I mean, I really didn't do anything on a computer until this past year. I can go without it. Take it. Everything that's on my computer's on my phone. Discord's on my phone. Um, I mean, I have to be able to get a hold of someone who has Remy, whether I'm at work or on the road or anything. If they've got Remy, they have to get a hold of me if something happens.
Give them your work phone number. They call you on a landline.
See, with the work thing,
You're
I'm
forgetting
not
about
always home.
people are forgetting about the landline. Like it's still a thing.
See, but my work phone doesn't always work. So, and there's 50 people that can answer that phone. And if I'm not at work, how are they going to get a hold of me? And I'm not always at my computer.
They did it before we had phones.
Yeah, well, I'm not waiting 2 days. You need to get a hold of me? Call my cell.
Honor, what you got?
So for me personally, like, people that know me, like actually know me, is like I keep my circle pretty much small. I don't really go have like just thousands of people that I talk to on a daily basis. That's, if anything, it's going to be below 15. You know, if you're one of my friends, I pretty much count you as family at a certain point. Anybody outside of that is just more like a person I talk to here and there. So I mean, as far as like phone goes with trying to get in contact, I really don't have that. I don't have just people calling me or texting me just every day. Like that's nothing. Most people, if they're gonna message me, they're gonna hit me up on like say Facebook or something like that, or Discord for another matter. I mean, that sort of stuff. Like I really could do without if I didn't have my phone, just because I had my computer. And with the computer, I have the gaming stuff, which is pretty much big on stuff that we do. Whether it be through our main channels where we just play certain games or just to kind of escape reality for a minute. But I mean, my phone, I rarely use it, to be honest. Like, it usually just stays in my pocket. I'm not that person that's on it 24/7 like most people are nowadays. So, I mean, I could do without phone and keep my laptop or computer. It has more use to me than my phone, just because I don't use it all that much. So, I'd say I'd get rid of my phone, for those reasons.
And we're to the final person, the creator of this topic.
Oh, that
Cameron
phone's going in the
Gables.
garbage. That phone's going right in the garbage. I'll put it in the garbage and run it over. Because, like, I mean, I was alive in an era when there was no cell phone. Hell, I was alive in an era when there was no internet and computer. Like, the places that had internet were businesses and places that needed it, like the government and shit like that. I remember getting internet CDs in the mail where you put it in. It was like 5 or 10 free hours of the internet Netscape or whatever the hell it was then. And when it did come to having a computer, I still didn't have a cell phone. I didn't get a cell phone that I have constantly now until 2021. I've had cell phones off and on in between then, but really since 2021 till now is when I've had a cell phone the whole time. But if I wanted to go somewhere, say I wanted to go travel to Washington, D.C., I had this weird little thing called a Garmin, a GPS, that I could put in the car. And if I didn't have that, I just print out the damn instructions. I'd get on the computer and print out the directions. If somebody wanted to reach me, they'll reach me on my time. I don't answer my phone half the time anyway when people call me. So if your number's not programmed into my phone, you call, I'm not answering. That's just how it works. You'll leave a message and then I'll call you back. Growing up, to me, I think it's, if I could walk out the front door and you can't bother me, now I can go enjoy my life. We've become so dependent on cell phones, you can't enjoy nothing because you're probably like, oh, I got to check my phone real quick, see if this happens. See if anybody replied to this message, or, I got to send this Facebook message or this Instagram post. You take the cell phone, throw that fucking thing in the ocean, and go live a life like a normal person. If everybody would say no cell phones for a week, I'll bet you for that 1 week, the world would be a better place for 1 week because you wouldn't have a bunch of drama being posted to Facebook. You wouldn't have a bunch of stupid TikTok videos being posted of people dancing and doing dumb shit. It would just be better. You would be less stressed out. You wouldn't be getting phone calls, text message, emails every 5 minutes because that's what happens. You wouldn't be dealing with Discord messages on your phone while you're trying to do other things that are important. Yeah, I think a cell phone can go right to hell.
Yeah, that's kind of my
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, it's like going to the movies and stuff, or just watching a movie at the house. I see so many people like, all right, let's watch a movie. You press play, and then everybody just pulls out their phone, and then that's what they're focused on. It's like, I thought we were watching a movie. What's happening? Are you that you can't go out without your phone just to watch a movie for say 2 hours at the most? I mean, that gets to me, I guess.
Oh, cell phones are useful when you need them under emergency situations. But before there was a cell phone, you know what happened when you had an emergency? You pulled the fuck over and you went into a business and you called 911.
Yeah, true.
And if you think about all the crimes that were solved, obviously crimes are getting solved faster now because digital media or social media and cell phones, people put a cell phone in their pocket, go commit a crime. They don't realize that they're getting pinged and they're being tracked. But you could enjoy life better without a cell phone than you can with one. Plus, I don't have to charge my computer. I just plug that fucker in. It's going. You go out, you charge your phone, you go outside, play on your phone as much as these younger people do, and in 5-6 hours, your phone's going ding, charge me.
Like Hunter said, the movie thing is like my biggest thing. Like you're paying, and I don't go to the movies hardly ever because of the phone thing. It drives me absolutely insane. I like to sit at the back of the movie theater to see the movie. I don't like sitting up close, so I can see everything that's going on below, and it drives me nuts when there's a phone light. You paid $15 to go see this movie. $12.50, whatever it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
It's something
12,
like that. I don't know what the price of a movie is right now, but $12 to $15 to go see this movie, and you're on your fucking phone, and you're not watching it half the movie. You just wait. So you paid to go see this movie to be on your phone.
Or worse, you're sitting at the house watching a movie, and then you want to ask questions like, "What just happened?" Like, if you got off your phone, you would know. You'd be watching it. It's
they
just
have
crazy
the
that people can't get away with their phone for that long.
or have the audacity to say, "Oh, I didn't really like it that much." It's like, how would you know? You were on your
Yeah.
phone like 50% of the time.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
We've had people sitting in front of us talking on the cell phone throughout the entire movie.
Yeah,
Sitting
we
there
got kicked
having
out.
an entire conversation to the point it drove me so nuts I had to go get security and be like, "Look, I can't even watch this movie. Either give me a refund or kick them motherfuckers out, because I can't sit here and listen to their fucking cell phone conversation, and they're literally having a full blown conversation during the movie on their phone."
I mean, you paid to hear the movie or watch the movie, not listening on their conversation. Yeah.
I'll digress.
Listen, you should have just went full-born toddler on them and just started kicking back of their seats, talking louder, saying, "No, that's not what she said to me last night." To really embarrass the hell out of them. I don't go to theaters anymore. I quit going to theaters like 5 years ago.
I feel like I got to point this out because y'all are sharing your screens, so it's hard not to notice. But we're talking about phones, and Jess was just buried in hers for like the whole conversation. I'm sorry. I just had to point
Perfect
that out.
example.
A friend of mine's having a mental breakdown at the moment.
I was supposed to tell you from my wife. You're supposed to tell me to shut up, but I don't condone that. I veto that decision. Veto, veto, veto.
Hold on, who's getting shut up? Me or you?
Me, because I said she was on her phone the whole time we were talking about being on phones. You're talking about being on phones in movie theaters and shit. And I just looked down
and Bran told you to tell her to shut up, or told you to shut up?
No, told me to tell. For some reason, told me to tell somebody else to tell me to shut up. And for something else, I even went through and did it.
That's who Jess is texting right now.
So you're the third-party carrier.
He is being mean.
If you sent Brandy a message saying Bill's being mean, she'd probably message you back saying what's new.
Look, if that happened, like Jess will tell you, she'll tell people they'll bitch about something I did or something that I said, just like I have no control over his actions.
I say it all the time. Currently,
Yeah.
I say it all the time. They're like, make him stop being mean. It's like, I have no control over his actions. I may be his wife, but he is his own person.
I have
When I need to step in, I will step in.
I used to always say the last time a woman was ever able to change me is when I was in diapers.
That's actually good. Yeah.
All right, Steve, we're coming to you on topic.
Kind of piggybacking off of that one a little bit. What was your very first computer that either you or your family owned, and what year did you get it?
I might have looked this up.
Yeah.
Let me look it up on my computer.
That would get passed off to Nate, but yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be having to think about that one.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the computer, so I will have to look up what it was called.
Well, I mean, okay, well, maybe not the name of the computer, but maybe the class, like a 386, 286, or
Are we talking about shotguns or are we talking about computers? I'm not sure where we're going with this.
I had a 380.
Yeah, I had a Macintosh 380 buckshot.
I had a 22. It shot 22 LRs.
I don't
20
remember the name of the computer. Like I said, the first computer I ever had and I
They
never,
all
it
look
wasn't
the
even
same.
mine.
They all look the same back then.
Yeah, they had the floppy
Yeah.
disk in the front, and like the first computer I had did not have a CD tray or nothing.
And they were white.
Yeah, a very disgusting, like almost like a white gray, just no definition to them. They had a
Yeah.
fucking power button and a button to push to get the floppy disk out, and that was about it. And then the second computer I had I rented it. Was one that had a CD tray in it that when you pushed it, it sounded like some bitch was dying when you opened it because it was like, and then it would spit it out.
That was a cup
and
holder, not a CD tray.
then when you pushed it back in, you had to wait 30 seconds because the eye had to reset and read
Mhm.
whatever was on the disc. And the printer that I had to go along with that, there wasn't printer paper like you have now where it's individual sheets. The printer I had was one continuous flow of paper. Both sides of it were like they are in a notebook where you bend the little ends and you can rip off the extra, and you would print it out that way. So you could print out like 10 pages, but you would have to separate and rip each page and then rip both sides of it off just to get down to a whatever it is, 8.5 by 11.
Dot matrix printers, love them. You know, they still make those printers.
That blows my mind because I couldn't stand damn things back then when they were new, let alone try to use one now.
Yes,
I feel like
still makes the dot matrix printer.
Yeah, I mean, I could see a use for it in like a business where you need to just print out a whole bunch of shit at one time and it just goes. But then you have the work where you have to separate them, then put them in order, and then take the little tabs off the sides. No, it wasn't worth it then, and it wouldn't be worth it now for me. Most people, I'll bet you, well, because I know your guys' ages in here, you guys are in the era of even when laptops existed, right? Like you didn't have dinosaur computers. I remember the first computer I had, the mouse had a wheel, like a ball in the middle instead of a scroll wheel. You used a wheel or a ball to roll around.
Yep.
See, I remember that.
And when you picked it up, the laser that came out from the bottom was bright enough to light up a whole room.
So I had a Dell 2400.
Dell 2400. Okay.
I also remember the mouse ball that you had to turn the little knob to pull the ball out, and you can clean the ball.
And it was about 2003 was our first computer.
2003? Okay.
So I didn't have a computer growing up. We used my grandmother's. The first computer that I ever got, Bronson bought me for school, and it's currently sitting in the closet. The second computer is not even mine; it's his as well.
You're telling me if you take that computer out of the closet, it becomes a rainbow person? Or an alphabet people?
The computer that's in the that's what happens.
It'd be part of the It'd be part of the LGPC community.
I get it.
No. That PC's that computer is part of the QWERTY community.
No, it's the LPTCOM PC community.
Oh, it's the QWERTY.
It took me a second, but I got it.
It's the parallel serial PC computing community.
Yeah, and it identifies as non-binary.
There you go.
Canceled.
Yep, you just did it. Look what you just did.
But my Mima, I remember getting on her computer to do, some assignments for school, and I couldn't get on the computer because my granddad was on the house phone. And if I started up the internet, it'd make that dial, the dial tone. And when you first open the computer, you got mail.
Yeah, I got myself into some trouble with my mom with that when we first got it because it was dial-up internet, and we had this damn brick for a cordless phone. So if I wanted to get on the computer, I'd go downstairs, and somehow in my brain I thought I was being smart by taking the cordless phone and going upstairs. Little did I know that the cable actually plugged into the back of the the base. So all she had to do was unplug that. She was looking for the phone. They didn't have features on phones where you could push it and make the phone beep then. So if she couldn't find the phone, she'd be like, all right, that little prick has it. Unplug the thing, and she'd hear me yell because I'd be in the middle of downloading from Napster or something, and yeah, she
Mom!
she would give it to me. She'd be like, "What are you up there doing?" I'm waiting for a phone call, and I'm like, "Well, I'm trying to play on this internet thing."
Mom, I just
Mommy-
found this really cool website. These people have sex on it.
That didn't exist back then. That was weird. Like if you think about like that's oh, man, I hate talking like that because it dates myself. But like there was no the internet was you could look shit up, like you could search for stuff, businesses, phone numbers, things like that, like public information. And then there was this one place where you could just pirate the shit out of music and movies. And by pirating movies, it was you'd pirate a movie and watch it on your desktop because there wasn't the CD rewrites that you could do where you could burn stuff on it. So you'd download it and there it was.
And we always wondered how the hell they got it in there to begin with.
Yeah.
Well, most of the time it was because they set up a tripod in the middle of the movie theater and recorded the motherfucker.
Yeah, but,
and someone's walking through the middle of your movie while you're
from,
watching it.
But we were trying to figure out how they got that video into the computer because there's no easy way to hook a camera back then up to a computer like there is now. You just plug a USB-C cable in and bloop bloop, it's there. Back then, you had to figure out if it was FireWire or if you had to figure out if it was a COM port or if it was parallel, and then you had to sit there and wait for 2 freaking months for a 1 meg file to transfer over.
Yeah, back then there was four plugs on the back of a tower. There was the power plug, then there was power plug and
the VGA cable.
VGA cables. Well, so that's VGA. 2, and then the other 3 were your standard like mic cables, like the 3 different colors for your microphone sound if you had headphones or a speaker.
Oh no, that was only if you bought a sound card. The basic cables on the computers I grew up with was you had a serial ATA cable for
your
like
computers also took up a whole room, Steve.
Pretty much.
They could heat one back then.
A keyboard, a separate one for a mouse, and they were different type of connections before they went to the PS2 connections where it was universal. Then you had a COM port, a parallel port, so you had those, and then you had your VGA connection and your power. And your power supply was as big as, these modern computers are today.
So I guess going off on like mine, the closest thing I could find to it, because I remember our computer, we didn't have a actual computer and then a monitor, ours all together. But the closest thing I could find to it was a compact Presario CDS 524. But I don't know if that's the right model number or what.
Dude, y'all still had that in 2012 whenever me and you first started. Or no, not 2012, 2009 when me and you first started hanging out.
No, we had a separate monitor. Like that was a different one. But like this was my grandfather's. Like we had, I remember because it was the monitor and then a keyboard and mouse, and that was literally it. Like there was nothing else. But like that was the computer I remember growing up with. When I was early ages, we got our own later on, which is the one you're probably thinking of. But it was still like that old tan looking color and stuff like that. But my grandfather's computer was the first one I remember. And even it says it's like 1995, so that sounds about right, close to it at least. But yeah, our computer wasn't separate like monitor and computer wise. It was all one big square box.
My Mimo still has her book that she went and bought when she bought her first computer that taught her how to use the computer. The SOB's this thick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And she read that book cover to cover 4 times to learn how to use that computer. And she still has that book, and it is in perfect condition. So if anybody wants to buy it, pretty sure it's worth some money.
Just turn this SquadCast to a selling point. All right.
All right, we'll start the bids off at $1.
More like start the bid off at $20. $20.
Nate,
Bad
you
thing
got,
is, people would spend a lot of money for that book.
Yeah.
Nate, you got a topic?
But you don't want to hear what my first computer was and when I first had it?
My bad, Steve. My bad,
I was thinking
Steve.
we might have been jumping the gun.
Well, I thought Steve gave his
Yeah.
a second ago.
No. I was
I'm
explaining.
gonna help. I'm gonna help Steve out. The first computer he ever had was a slate of rock with a chisel and a hammer.
Okay, Moses, calm down.
Whoa!
Oh, he went there.
Did you just call him
Wow.
Moses?
Yes.
Golly, Jesus!
I'm not that old. So,
That should be a topic. Who's
yeah.
older?
What
No,
was
yeah.
it? What's it, Steve? What's it like to be God's son?
Oh, it's fine when it comes time to part the waters, because then the people that you don't like, you can just close that gap in.
No, then you just call me and I come do it.
Where's Noah at when we need him?
That's right. I can walk on water.
Yeah, why part the sea when you can run across it?
Yep, just gotta know where the stones are.
True.
Golly, this escalated quickly.
We need to jump to another topic.
So
Yeah, I didn't even go. I didn't even go with the computer I had.
Well, what computer did you have?
Go for it.
You did.
You're supposed to cut in at some point.
Yeah, you gotta jump in.
Well, I was waiting, and then you're like, next topic. I was like, wait a minute. Because I somehow found it.
Okay.
Okay, well, all right. So my dad, he had a 95, Windows 95. I mean, it was kind of his computer. I would use it every once in a while. But my first legit computer, it was a HP Pavilion P6000 tower computer, AMD. It's a black one. It has Windows 7 on it.
Yeah, those are pretty popular.
Those, it was like 2012, I think, 2011. That was my first computer that I had, and I've had that thing for a while. I actually still have it. It's in the closet, at my parents'
Part
house.
of the team.
Yeah. It still works. It's just, I mean, it's outdated.
The
But
damn QWERTY community, I swear, it's growing.
Yeah, my first one was actually an IBM 8088 because I had a math coprocessor. But that one would have been an 8086, which you always hear a 386 or 86 or compatible machine. That's where they get that from. Everything always ends in an 86. So you have like your 86, and then your 286, 386, 486, then your Pentiums, and then that's when they started going into the I sectors. So mine was one of the first generation chips, if you want to call it that. And I got mine. Mine was a used one, and I purchased it used in '94. And I bought it because I bought a game. I went to the mall and bought a game. Okay, this is how serious of a gamer I am. Not. I went to the mall, bought a game, and then went to the computer store and said, I need a computer that can play this. And I handed them the box. And that's the computer that they sold me.
interesting.
So, Mr. The Hunter, that background you have is messing my head up right now because it looks like I'm watching like one of those old early or late 90s DVD loading screens. Where the word DVD is just bouncing all over the screen.
I know,
I was going for. I'm
watching
glad
it
you
too.
noticed.
Pong.
You say I need to switch to something else? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, but I do like that
Nah.
logo though.
Yeah, I like it too.
Y'all are welcome.
I mean, I did kind of edit it a little bit. I mean, I helped.
I come up with the concept.
You had the
I made it
base, yeah.
transparent.
I made it float.
I can't quit watching it.
I know it's bad. Like I'm just stuck watching this thing bounce around, wondering when it's going to hit the corner perfectly.
I know, right?
All right, Nate, what's your topic? While the two squirrels
man.
are entertained right now.
Hey, that's rude.
I didn't really
We need.
have a topic.
I mean,
Give me a
if we need
minute.
to, we can come back.
It hit the corner perfectly.
It did.
Okay, I guess I can go with that. All right.
Oh, there it went again.
What is everybody's since I kind of talked about car nut stuff, what is everyone's favorite car and why? I mean, it can be any car.
So starting with me, damn. Mine would have to be the Cat Eye Chevrolets. If you don't know what a Cat Eye Chevrolet is, it is like the 2006, 2007 models. And they call them a cat eye because the headlights V off on both sides and then have a little indentation and then it's the blinkers below it. But they call them cat eyes. Whether it's 1500, 2500, those are like my favorite model Chevrolet Silverados. I would love to own one day. Yes.
So, I couldn't remember the year, but I like a challenge. I've loved a Challenger. That's my dream car. So, it's a 1980 Dodge Challenger. I love the body style. I love the way it looked. It's not just Challenger, it's the Hellcat.
They didn't have Hellcats in the 80s.
1980 Dodge Challenger Hellcat. Pulled it right up. Maybe it wasn't the 80. Maybe it was a 90. But either way, it's a 19-something Dodge
I feel like
Challenger
Hellcats
Hellcat.
are recent.
Gonna look it up on my handy dandy mobile computer.
Called a cell phone.
It's a mobile mini computer.
That's a cellular device.
Yeah.
It's called a cell phone.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec, guys. My pager's going off. I need to check it.
Good, but put a bow tie on a turd. It's still called a turd.
Oh, fuck off.
They actually still use pagers in the hospital, believe it or not.
And they only work on hospital grounds. You know what blew my mind when I'm just going to throw this out there because we're talking about pagers. Quite a few years ago, I broke my wrist, and I went to the hospital. And they handed me a freaking coaster. It looked like a coaster. And they're like, when it's your turn, we'll let you know.
Yep, it's going to
So
vibrate.
I went outside. This sumbitch started blinking and vibrating. I'm like, what do I do now? Is it going to blow up? What am I supposed to do?
You should have asked the waitress where your table was.
Yep. I was just fixing to say, it's going to a restaurant. They give you that. We use them at work. Whenever they're checking parts at work, they give you this little thing and it blinks and it vibrates and it tells you, we're done checking your part. You can come get it.
Oh, shit.
All right, Hunter, favorite car, dream car.
So, the one car that I've actually it stand out the most for me was the 2013 Shelby GT 500. And I know Bronson's probably like, where did he pull this out of? Because I'm really not a car guy. Everybody knows this about me.
He doesn't drive.
But yeah, I don't drive. So I mean, for me to pull out this car is like, what? You know, but
that's the most random fucking year model car that you can pull out of your ass, and you pull a 2013 Shelby GT 500. That's the best you got.
So BB's about to laugh because I'm about to say where I got this car from. It come from a movie, but it's the Need for Speed movie. It's one of the cars
Oh.
that when I saw it,
Fucking Jesse
I fell
Pinkman
in
was
love with it.
driving a fucking 2013 Shelby
Yeah, blue, I think.
GT500. Yeah, it was blue and white. It was
Yeah.
blue with the white
Yeah.
stripes. Fuck, like
Yeah,
the most
when I saw
common.
that car,
That's the most common GT500 in all year models. That's the most common color of the GT500. That and
Yeah.
the other most iconic one was the one that was used in Gone in 60 Seconds, and it was that hunter green. And it was
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
what was the name of that fucking car? What did he call that car? God,
Mm.
Damn.
it had
Uh,
what did he call her? He had a name for it.
yeah, he did.
I should know this. It's
Like the
That's
fastest
one of
car I
my
ever
that's one of my
drove.
favorite movies.
Same.
Gone in 66.
Look, the fastest car that I ever drove. I was working at the Ford dealership, and
You're gonna say it, it'll piss
Eleanor.
me off. Eleanor, yes.
And it wasn't hunter green. That one was gray and black.
Yeah, I didn't think it
I
was
thought
green,
it was
but I
green.
could have been wrong.
I'm thinking of Tokyo Drift. They had he had that GT500 in there.
You're right, he did.
His dad had built it. At the end of the movie, he had used it to race.
Yep.
All right,
But yeah, I remember seeing that car, and that car stood out to me. Like, I really liked that.
Bill, dream car, favorite car. What you got?
So I don't. Dreams are not a thing. Never had a car that I really ever wanted because I knew realistically I could never have, so I didn't want it. But my favorite car that I've ever had was my very first car. It was a 1994 Buick Riviera. Now, to mind you to this, it is the exact same vehicle as the Cadillac Snoop DeVille. So if you look up the Cadillac Snoop
Did
DeVille,
that have the big engine in it?
yeah, it was a tank. All leather seats, digital dash, the whole thing. It was a pimp ride. My dad bought it for me, and that's another reason why it's my favorite car because he also helped me work on it my dad was ASC certified. I had that up until probably I want to say like 2013, 2014.
Oh, dude, those Buick Rivieras of that year look like the Thunderbirds.
It was a coupe. It was only a 2-door.
Yep.
It had a back seat to it. So, and if you wanted somebody to get in, you had to get out, pull your seat forward for them to get in. But riding in this car was pure luxury. Like the seats, the two front seats. Me and Brandy, in my prior profession, would go to shows, and Brandy would ride shotgun, obviously, and I'd look over and she'd have the seat laid back, and it looked like a little bed laying down. So much room in the damn thing, all digital dash. Like the speedometer was numbers. It wasn't a needle that moved up and down. That was, I couldn't, I'm not going to say, oh, I want a, 1960 Cadillac bumfuck Egypt. I don't know. Like my favorite car is a car that I drove. I don't have aspirations and dreams. If I did have, if I did get to pick a car that I might want, I don't even know the year, but it would have to be the car. Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but it was a race car. It was open top bubble race car, almost like a VW Bug. I can't remember what it was, and I think the number on the hood was like 6 or something like that. It was a Shelby. It was probably a Shelby, some version of a Shelby car.
Oh, you're talking about the Shelby Cobras?
Yeah, it was. Look that up and see the race car version. It was like basically a bullet.
It's the AC Shelby Cobra.
That would be the one, just because I don't know why, but that would just be the one. But I'm gonna stick with the 1994 Buick Riviera because that's my ride.
Here, I'm gonna send you a picture of it, Bill.
I got rid of that car only for one reason: to buy a pickup truck, and because the car was that old that the wiring was starting. You could smell the wiring burning as I was driving it, so I traded it in on a pickup truck.
I'm gonna send you a picture real quick, Bill.
So speaking of the Shelby Cobras, we had one at the Ford dealership I worked at. It was a 2020 Cobra, and it was a manual shift. And I got to drive that car. Let me tell you, that is the most powerful car that I have ever driven.
Look, I even magically somehow got the number right. Like, I just said the 6 on the hood.
Well, as you can see, I'm a car enthusiastic as well. I knew exactly what car it was when you said it.
It was
just
the. Hold on.
It was the Shelby Cobra 427. And it's silver with blue, white, and red stripes on the hood.
Okay.
And then it has the white number 6 on the side.
Yep. I see it.
Ooh, that's a pretty
those are
car.
nice.
Yeah, to me, that's like a bubble car. It's that's like a convertible that's not even a convertible because there's no drop top. It is just a convertible year round.
They do make hard tops for that car.
Look, this man over here is a car fanatic.
She can tell you I can be at whatever stoplight or whatever, just can look at the back of the car and be like, oh, that's a this, and this.
Give him the picture of a tail light. He will tell you the make, the model, the year, everything about it. The engine, the transmission. He could tell you anything and everything about that car by the tail light.
Oh, you have me wanting to test his ass now.
I love fucking cars.
Do it. I'm dead serious. Send him pictures of tail lights.
I wouldn't go so far as tail lights.
Yeah, I might be pushing it.
Tail lights they are unique, but
then send him pictures of the back of the car without the logo. And I bet you he can do it. It gets on my nerves.
All right, Steve, what dream car, favorite car, what you got?
Well, my favorite car that I ever owned was my 1967 Chevy C10 with a straight 6 in it.
And you got rid of a C10?
I had to.
Come on.
That thing was a freaking tank. I'll tell you that right there. People back for entertainment for us back in
you know how much them trucks are worth now?
Oh, I know, but this one would be worth nothing because you've heard the song Rusty Chevrolet by the Doo-Wops. It's a Christmas song. I swear they followed me home one day and they wrote a song about my truck. Because I was in ag class and I literally pulled the truck into the shop back there at least once or twice a week to either cut something off with the acetylene torch or weld something back on.
Did you have a fleet side or a step side?
It was straight. It was a fleet. I believe it had been a fleet side. It was just straight, a regular bed on the back.
Yeah, fleet side.
But it had the old-fashioned, buckles on the back where you had to
long bed, short bed.
Short bed.
Come on, dude. Why did you get rid of that? Man, you could have quite a few $1,000s right now for that one.
Yeah, well, I got rid of that one. Ooh, about 40 years ago.
Shit, that's when trucks were trucks. That was an all metal fucking truck. You get hit with that motherfucker now, and you're screwed.
Yeah. Total. Yeah. I fit the
like
truck.
Like your truck would be fine, but the truck the vehicle that you hit would be fucking totaled now.
Oh yeah.
You'd get to drive yours home.
I have actually blown all the lug nuts except for off of one tire. I lost another tire going off, going another way. I've hit a bump once. I lost all electrical in the truck except for the stereo, which saved my ass because I could have something to listen to as I was crawling home at 2 miles per hour. The driver's side door was welded shut. The passenger floorboard, you could actually see the road underneath you. I love the truck, but it just got to the point where the state said no more on inspections, and they told me I had to salvage the truck.
Steve, I'm doing it. I'm sorry, I'm doing it. You called me Moses earlier. I'm forced to do it. I am currently 40 years old. He sold that vehicle 40 years ago. Let's talk about who's the oldest one in this chat.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That dates you at least 60. Because 40 or at least 56, because you have to be 16 in the United States to drive. So that means you are at least 56.
That, not always.
Well, I mean, you could, unless you have private property.
Yeah.
But if the state told you had to not be able to drive it, that means it was registered. So that means the government stepped in and said, nah.
Yeah.
See what you done? You done opened a can.
Yeah, but it was my car, but I didn't say I registered it.
Shouldn't have called me Moses.
Maybe
Shouldn't have called me
Maybe
Moses.
did you ever see that movie, Too
But
Grumpy
at least
Men?
it wasn't a Model T.
Did you just ask me if I've seen the movie Two Grumpy Old Men? That's one of my favorite fucking movies.
Thanks, Hunter. Now we're gonna
One
watch
of my
the
most
first and the
favorite-
second one.
That is one of my most favorite fucking movies. I love both of them.
Now we're gonna watch both of them
I could
tonight.
I'm down.
I could watch them on repeat.
I
Hunter's
know.
walking
Sounds
home.
like we got
He's
something to
walking
do
home.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna treat that movie like fucking Christmas Story. We're gonna watch both of them back to back to back.
Another one you need to watch is War with Grandpa. That's another good one.
I didn't care.
That was a decent
I
one.
didn't care for it.
It was decent. It wasn't too bad.
Look, my movies are gonna be Grumpy Old Men, Grumpier Old Men, Casino, Goodfellas. Those four movies I can fuck with all day. Scrooge, that's my Christmas movie, 100% with Bill Murray. I can watch that one the whole month of December and be okay.
There's Poor Brothers.
Yeah, but Scrooge is like, you get into the older movies.
Well, yeah, if you're going back like
If you've never watched this movie, put this on your must watch. Jack Black starred in it, and it was called Year One.
Yes, I've seen that. Yes.
Yes.
If you
That's
have
a
never
newer
watched
Jack
that
Black movie, isn't it?
No.
No.
It's been out for
Watch
a while
it.
now.
You will laugh
it
your
is
ass
good.
off.
It hit the corner.
All right, hold up. Has anyone seen Odd Couple?
Like the
The
TV
original?
show?
Sounds
or the new
familiar.
one?
Hold on.
Yeah,
We're
the
getting off.
original.
We're getting off topic. Hang on.
Imagine that,
Let's
huh?
finish. Let's finish Nate's topic up. Nate.
Well, I got my dream car still.
Oh, so you got two cars? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a dream car. My dream car would be either between a 65 and a 67 Plymouth Roadrunner. Sky blue with the little Roadrunner symbol on the back.
Meep, meep.
Meep, meep.
That's what I was thinking.
I feel like he would put a horn in there that did that. Meep, meep.
I would.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Meep, meep.
Nate, you brought the topic up. What is yours?
Yeah.
All right. So I don't even care about the year. Anything between I think 2009 or 10 up until now, it would be the Porsche GT3 RS.
Oh, you're going luxurious.
What?
Going
He's a
exotic.
pup.
It's not a
Going
luxury.
exotic. What are you talking about? Porsche isn't a luxury. No.
Kind of want to know his exotic car.
I have a knockoff.
Porsche is just a luxury Volkswagen Bug.
I have a knockoff Porsche.
Her car does look like a Porsche Cayenne.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just love the body style of the Porsche.
Well, they get you a 2020 Ford Escape. They look just like them, and they drive like them too.
So I'm going last, like always.
Well, he still has his other one.
Yeah. If he wants to. Does he
He
have
had his
one?
dream. Now, what's his favorite?
Oh. I mean, that was
He's like, I
kind
wasn't
of
thinking about
my
that.
dream.
That
So
was
that's
my
his
dream
favorite
and
and
my
his dream.
favorite.
Right.
I mean, kind of, yeah, actually. I have one on my desk.
I mean, I guess mine would be the same because I had pretty much just the one car.
I only
too.
had one car. I had that Chevrolet Silverado.
So, yeah.
I think it's pronounced Silverado.
Silver dude, yeah.
Chevrolet.
Shavakadu.
My Chevrolet.
fresh.
Yeah, your Chevrolet Silverado.
I'm going down to the El Taco and get a free Shavakadu.
All right, so Jess, what's your topic?
No pressure.
Right? No pressure.
Doc can't
Have
have
you
you answer this
had
one either.
Have you had a paranormal experience? When, where, and how?
I feel like this has been
Oh.
asked before in a
Oh.
SquadCast.
See, I said the same thing.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
been a
that
minute.
one has been asked. So it has been asked. I don't want to talk about this one again.
Well, I'm gonna say mine then because I don't think mine has been answered, and I don't
Yeah,
believe in
Alright, so
ghosts and that shit.
Bill
But I
said it
know
loud.
for a fact. I used to live in a housing development when I was a kid, and it was built on top of like swamp water. And it was built. Now this is going to sound bad, but it was built for low-income white housing back in the 70s. It's not that now, but
Lived
I
in the
remember this.
projects.
Yeah, I lived in the hood. It got bad. Like during the Bosnian crisis, yeah, it got bad.
And you probably had some government cheese too, right?
I actually don't remember what it was. No,
A lot of
I
people
remember-
don't know what the hell government cheese is, but
well, government cheese is the big block of individual sliced cheese.
it ain't good.
That can be
No.
unrefrigerated for thousands of years.
Yeah, you could just let it sit out the front porch in 90-degree weather and it won't melt.
Bam.
But I remember this very vividly, and I have no explanation for it. But it was a spaghetti night at my house, and I had just got, I think, my first VCR, and I was watching a movie called Money Train,
What's a VCR?
and I
What's that stand
paused the
for?
video, and I went downstairs, got a plate of spaghetti, and I was coming back up the steps.
He's not going
At
to
the
answer
top of my
me when
steps.
the question of what a VCR is.
Straight ahead of up the top of the steps was the bathroom. To the left, there was a bedroom on the left, and then a hallway, bedroom on the right, bedroom on the left. I was in the only bedroom on the right.
He just gave me a
I
whole
got to
tour
the
of
top
his
of-
house, but I still don't know what a VCR is.
Got up to the top of the steps,
We'll-
made a
we'll
left,
ask Decoy.
and I swear to God there was a lady standing in my doorway. I dropped my spaghetti, ran down the steps, bawling my eyes out
Not the spaghetti.
because I didn't know what the hell was
Not the
going on. I
spaghetti.
refused to go upstairs until my mom went up with me because I didn't know who the lady was upstairs. I was asking her, who's upstairs? Who's the lady? Who's that upstairs? And she thought I was nuts. Now, I don't believe in, I don't subscribe to the whole ghost thing, and that to me is, you
Don't get
know,
me
like,
started.
that's like aliens, right? Like, do they exist? Yeah, maybe, but chances are probably not. That's the only thing I got.
guess. See, I'm the opposite. So, like, I believe that there are paranormals. Like, I do believe in that stuff. As far as experience wise, I've never had really an experience, but I've heard stories. Like, not just watching videos or something like I've heard stories of people that I know in real life, are actually able to meet and talk to and stuff like that, to where they told me stuff and I can believe it, So I mean, as far as me having an experience, I've never had one. but
Like,
do
I know
believe it.
for a
That's
fact,
right.
I know for a fact that I seen a lady standing in my doorway. I'm not saying it was a ghost, but there was somebody standing in my doorway enough to scare me to drop my food and run down the steps.
Not the
Right.
spaghetti.
Yeah, the best part of that was not the spaghetti. Nate is going to be a short.
Yeah.
On this video, Nate is going to be a short. Not the spaghetti. He sounded so disappointed.
I was reaching for a beer and I just cracked up on that.
Like,
My favorite food.
I was sitting there, mine too. Like, I love Italian food, and you dropped the spaghetti.
Well, see
Damn.
if I answer your questions again.
Well, you fucking offended.
Oh,
You
no.
offended multiple people by
Right.
dropping that fucking spaghetti.
Well, thank God it's the only thing that got dropped that day. Thank God I didn't drop anything else.
Are we thinking of something of something scented and you rub it on your hands and it gets sudsy? You didn't drop
Well, I
that
don't know
day? Is that what we're talking
I'm
about?
thinking of a log.
I don't know if you ever rubbed your shit on your hands and it becomes sudsy. but I've never even thought about doing that. So that would just be weird. I'd have to go see a counselor if I did that.
Hell.
Oh my!
Great.
Anyone else have any?
We need to keep this rolling. Yeah.
Anyone else have any paranormal experiences that doesn't involve spaghetti being dropped?
So in the house, one of the houses I grew up in was what they called a shotgun house.
Oh, here we
Yeah.
go. Why are we keeping on the projects and the poor? What's going on here?
What?
It's
No,
America.
The house I lived in was a legit house that was built back in the 1930s, and it was a shotgun house because it was
His age is showing too. It
Well,
was brand new.
front to
It was brand new when y'all lived in it too, wasn't it?
almost
It was 20 years before he sold his car 40 years ago.
exactly. So we lived in a house for some time, and it's like we never made any modifications.
So it was new.
To the house, pretty much, yeah. With the old knob and tube wiring, everything's still in the house.
Horsehair plaster and all.
Yes, you touch the wall and you can hear the plaster just falling.
The asbestos was just bubbling on that sucker.
Sorry, Bronson is dying, y'all.
Probably.
I can't. I'm the same way.
Our floor furnace went out in the house. So
Your what?
the floor furnace.
Your floor furnace.
Floor furnace went out.
Oh, okay.
That's what we had, floor furnace. Yeah, floor furnace. It is a big giant square in the floor that heated up and radiated heat throughout the entire house.
Oh, I'm crying.
I'm scared to drink anything right now. I don't want to spew it out my nose.
So we actually took that out. We filled in the floor, and then we bought a wall.
Why are you so? Hold on, you were filling in dirt floors?
No, it wasn't a dirt floor. We had modern luxuries. Not all dirt floors in there. That may have been down further in the state towards he's not here, so I'm not going to mention his name.
You're not doing good for yourself right now, Steve. I would just stop while you're ahead because Bronson just shot you in the foot.
That's fine. He's getting his pay back finally. But we put this other furnace in.
So anyway, to answer the question, you did backfill a dirt floor with dirt, right?
I can dig a hole and bury somebody, but
Wasn't it a paranormal type thing?
That was
you dressed
also
up as a clown.
Bill. That was also the refrigerator. They dug a hole in the ground, put their meat down there, and then covered it with a piece of board, and that's their refrigerator. He fucking just muted. He lost it. Bill fucking lost it. He muted. He muted. He said, "Y'all aren't hearing me fucking laugh."
Oh hell.
So about that ghost?
So we replaced the furnace.
Decoy.
So I was walking through the house one day, and I literally turned around the furnace, and I was going in towards my bedroom, and a little kid, I came right up and literally sucker punched me right through, literally through my gut.
What?
And then just kept walking right out the front door.
Oh hell no!
We got
So I
Edna
turned
Grimes
around.
over here. In
No,
we got
no.
Edna
So I
Edna
turned-
Grimes over
I-
here
I
in
turned
the
around,
comment section.
and
Government
by the
cheese. She
time
knows
he
what's
walked
up.
through the front door, literally walked through the front door. And I opened the front door and nobody there.
Oh
And
hell
it's
no!
like,
That would trip me.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, I mean,
the
you
weird
gotta
thing is, it
think
was
though.
built
You
in the
guys
1970s.
You guys are probably on that land before any other human occupant ever touched it. So who could it have possibly been?
The only thing
Yes!
we could think of is maybe somebody else lived in the house prior to us, and something happened. We don't know.
So
It was
somebody
like-
died in the house during construction?
It's possible. But no, we don't really know who actually owned the house before us or anything else. But it's just
Oh
the only
my
thing is
God.
we made a modification to the house. That was a major one.
My cheeks
and
are hurting.
User has left your server.
User has been banned from your server.
No, user hasn't been banned. User just left the server. Steve's like, fuck all of you.
See, I wouldn't have went at you, Steve, if you didn't call me Moses. That's what it took. That's all it took. You called me Moses.
Hey,
Two grumpy
I've
old men.
learned
Here we
that
go.
Uh-oh.
if I throw punches, I gotta receive them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, Jesus
This topic
Christ.
ain't gonna end.
I feel like that was just the moment of the night right there. My cheeks hurt.
Yeah.
My cheeks hurt.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bill.
Oh, I'm still trying to catch my breath.
Well, you all should know it takes a lot to really make it.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
That was good. That was funny.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, Polly's over here telling me to
Real
calm
life.
down.
And second rule of life: if you can't make fun of yourself, then don't make fun of others.
There you go.
There you go. Yep. Totally agree.
I think the saying is, if you can't eat shit, don't throw shit.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's
Yeah.
true.
That's how it goes.
No, that's a good one too.
Anyone else have any paranormal experiences?
I had one last night.
I think Bronson just had an out of body experience. Does that count?
What's that mean?
You were bouncing around. You had the goddamn hag that jumped on you. You were going.
Dude,
were
y'all,
possessed for a second.
It was bad. Y'all, I couldn't catch my fucking breath. Oh, that whole thing's gonna be a short.
So Hunter, I'm kind of like, I'm all into the paranormal stuff. I've been following it for a long time, but unfortunately, I haven't really came across anything paranormal that I can think of.
I've got
I mean,
one.
like the only thing, like I remember when I was at my parents' house still, I was like, I think I was still going to high school or like middle school or something. But like I was just laying in bed, and then there was a closet like right across from my bed in the corner of the room, and it was like cracked open, and then like all of a sudden I busted out crying. I'm like, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone, like so like, and I kind of hid under the sheet or something. I
Hold
don't
on,
know what that was.
Someone came out of the closet and it freaked you out.
And no, it was. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it
Fucking
was a
Narnia.
dream.
Like Monsters Inc.
Fucking Narnia.
They were in the wardrobe.
Nah, but not well. It wasn't really anything. Like I didn't see anything. It's just seeing the crack in the door and just like I don't know what came over me, but like other than that, like I haven't really experienced a lot of things. I've been to ghost tours and everything, and I watched a bunch of videos, but I haven't really came across anything like worth noting. So, I mean, yeah.
I've got a paranormal experience.
What, just then?
No, I play this game called Phasmophobia,
Oh.
Not paranormal, it's video.
and I play Ghost Exile, and you have to exile the ghost from the house. So that's about as paranormal as I go.
Yeah. Well, I got a couple of them, but the one that happened last night, I was rocking Remy, okay,
Is that a
and he
song?
looks up at me and he goes, "Paw Paw," and I'm like, "Paw Paw," and he points behind me, and I kid you, I shit you not, I turn around and the damn curtain moved, smiled, and giggled, and I said, "Oh fuck no." Put him in his crib, shut the door, and Remy was talking to himself for like 2 hours.
Yeah, they say that kids can actually see spirits or can actually like talk to them. So I'm not saying that's what happened, but it's a
To me-
possibility.
To me, that's
Look,
called an imagination.
so my pawpaw passed away when Remy was 9 months old.
No, Remy was only 6 months old.
Log. October. He was 5 months old.
No, Remy. Yeah, he was 5. 5 months.
He
old.
was 5 months old. So, and he's almost 2. And I haven't, like, I have a picture, you know, out in the house of my pawpaw, but he doesn't go over there and be like, pawpaw, damn paw, you know, whatever. So him looking up, pointing behind me and smiling, saying pawpaw, and I turn around and the curtain opens. I didn't touch it. Like, it opened, like someone was standing there and opened the curtain.
That curtain would have been in the fire pit right away.
Yeah.
Something wrong with that
The-
curtain.
The bad thing is, I put him in his crib and left the room. So I left my child in the room with the moving curtain.
Big smelly dude says, "Bill, turn your camera on." I don't
Ain't
know.
happening.
Was that the actual name?
Yeah, Big Smelly
White.
Dude is the name. It says, "Bill, turn your camera on."
Well, how do you know
Wow,
my name
okay.
first off, and who are you?
I have no idea, but they say Big Smelly Dude. Say, "Bill, turn your camera on."
I'm not the only one. That goddamn
Edna
Steve and
says.
Nate.
Edna says ghost tours in New Orleans are so interesting. Actually, I would like a movie. Now that you say that, Hunter knows the movie. Watching the Hatchets, those are in Louisiana. The ghost tours and stuff that they
Yep.
do there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Big Smelly Dude says sick vape, bro. So talking to you, Hunter, he said blow some Mad O's, bro.
Ooh. Haven't done that in a while.
Did you? Was that just a hint? Like you said Mad O's. It almost sounded like you said Matt O.
Mad O's. No, I have no idea. This could be Matt O. I have no idea. Big
Maybe it's
Smelly Dude
Terrell.
also says that he has ears. So apparently we've at some point someone's called you Bill, or it's probably me called you Bill at some point.
I know I said his name at least once.
Yeah,
Edna,
anonymity's gone.
Edna says for some reason kids make paranormal experiences even more creepy. True statement. 100% true statement. So, anyone else have any more paranormal experiences?
No, but Big Smelly Dude, the reason I don't put my camera on is I don't want to become a billionaire overnight. I don't want this face to take over the internet.
There's also this thing called Big Brother that he's afraid of.
Yeah.
So Edna, you've been on a few ghost tours. Tell us about it. I'll read the comment. Give us a little story about your ghost tour and what you experienced on
Yeah,
the ghost
jump in.
tour. I will definitely read that comment off. But for now, we'll move on to the last topic. If no one else has any more paranormal experiences.
Maybe the last topic. We might spend 25 minutes laughing again, but go ahead.
Do you want me to read that off, Decoy?
No, it's gone. It is out of there.
Oh wait, was that a legitimate thing?
Yes, that was actually in our chat.
You moderated that out.
Yes, I moderated that out.
So who is it? Send it to me. I want to see it.
Hold on, moderate that person completely out of the chat.
Who is it? Is it that smelly guy?
Yeah, just moderate him completely out of the chat.
Oh, please screenshot it.
It is screenshotted. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Nice. Hey, Terrell, thanks for watching, bud.
That might be who it is. Anyways, Edna, give us the story or whatever.
Down.
I'll read it off at the end of this. So the last one, y'all know that the writer's block just recently ended. Like over the last 2 months is when it ended.
Yeah. Something like that.
So no TV shows, movies, or anything were really created over this last year. They've been on this writer's block for months now.
Yeah.
So reason you're not seeing movies coming out and they're slow going right now is because they were halted in production, and it was because of the uh, the writer's block. What are y'all's opinions on the writer's block?
I mean, I guess from a standpoint, I've heard a lot of different things. I don't know exactly what's true. I mean, because you can read a lot of shit and still it not be true. So I mean, it's hard to kind of go off of that. But I mean, at the same time, like as far as them like making profit off of stuff that they're trying to create and getting all the actors and stuff in, when they have something like this, it's hard for them to continue their work. I mean, they're like you said, they're at a halt. So like I can understand like the difficulties they must face, trying to come up with a show or a movie and have it actually air for them to make the profit. But I mean, at the same time, as a viewer, I mean, you're say it's a TV show, you're waiting on that next episode, you're waiting on that next season to come out. So like it definitely would suck for the viewer. But I mean, at the same point, you have to have that standpoint as they're not making profit right now. So like we're not the only ones hurting; they're hurting too. Which I'm glad that they finally got done with that. It definitely was a halt to where we weren't seeing a whole lot of new shit coming out. We were rolling back. I know we were at least to where we're watching like old shit. Anything that we could find, like maybe something we haven't seen that was older, watching it. So I'm kind of happy that they did get everything past that. Are working on filming again and all that. So I'm looking forward to the future right now. But I mean, yeah, everyone has to have that understanding of perspective. A lot of comments about this, I guess.
Well, the writer's block, not having the movies and TV shows coming out or whatnot, it gave light for the smaller budget films and stuff to shed light a little bit.
True.
I watched a lot of
True.
movies over the span of that happening that I wouldn't have been introduced to if they didn't have the limelight they had, because a bigger budget film would have taken place in front of it. I think that might have been a little beneficial in a way because it lets the smaller names come out. But you also, like you were saying, is that you're looking forward to movies coming out and TV shows. So like one of them that I was looking forward to, and it's his last season because Kevin Costner had some drama going on with his wife and things of that nature, and so he's no longer going to be a part of Yellowstone. They're going to do a spin on Yellowstone, but Kevin Costner's no longer going to be a part of it. But there's one more season supposed to come out that he's in. It's going to be his final season. It was scheduled to be released in 2023. The writer's block happened. Plus, on top of that, he was going through the drama, and he was halfway through with filming before the writer's block happened. And now, I think they even said that there's going to be a portion of that season that he's not even in it at all, just because they ran out of time and he's done. He doesn't want. He's not going to record anymore, and it's mainly because his wife's like, you're not home enough, and just drama. Like, you married the dude, you knew that he was an actor and that he was going to be away for major times. Major time is going to be lost because he's going to be out. One of the probably best telltales was watching Sylvester Stallone's family, watching their reality show, and them talking about he had done it right after the filming of Oklahoma King, or what was it, Hunter? It wasn't Oklahoma King. It was
no
Tulsa King. Tulsa King.
Yeah.
He had started filming his reality show, talking about, I missed out on a lot of my daughter's lives because I was filming, but it kind of falls in that same ballpark.
I mean, a lot of people, they don't really think about. I know, kind of going a little off topic, but I mean, a lot of people don't think about with stuff like that is like they aren't able to like you said, are there to view, their lives. Like, say if they have children, they're not able to see everything that's happening. So, like, when people are talking about, like, well, they get paid all this much money, that's not fair, and this and that, like, that's almost like compensation for them missing their, family's lives like that. I mean, they're missing a lot of memories that they could be making, but instead, they're working on movies and stuff. Now, I'm not saying like they're just dedicated to show us all this stuff, but I mean, at the same time, like, they're getting compensated for that. So I'm kind of glad that they are getting paid for their rights. If that makes sense.
Steve, I know you have to have an opinion on the writer's block.
Nope, not really, because I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. Because the writer block doesn't affect YouTube.
True, in a way, sort of.
What about you, Nate? You got an opinion on it?
Not really, actually. I mean, I'm not a big movie watcher unless it's something I'm interested in.
Damn, I'm like me and Hunter are like the biggest movie buffs. I skipped Hammy for a reason, because Hammy is similar to Decoy, to where he doesn't really he watches a trailer and that's him watching the movie. That's what he'll tell you.
That's about my attention span too, was the trailer.
Well, I would care if these actors who are making millions and millions and millions of dollars to get on screen and act, I would care about them not being able to go in a studio and record all poor babies. If they were actually philanthropists and started donating some of their money out to people who needed it, and maybe in the state that they are producing movies in wasn't the highest, had the highest population of homeless, if they would all come together and try to make things better instead of worrying about their own goddamn bank account.
Well, that's why I brought up the positive in that writer's block, giving the limelight to the smaller people, to the movies that aren't high budget, and you actually getting to experience those, and those be like the featured tab on Netflix and Hulu and Paramount Plus. Those small budget films being the featured films. Like, hey, this is your recommended. You should watch this, and it's not a high budget film because of the writer's block. Even a TV show.
I just can't support actors nowadays because of that. Like, they're making so much money in an environment where we're all suffering. And there's people living in tents on the streets next to SoFi Stadium that they had to go through 2 years ago and clear them out for the Super Bowl. Just so it looked good for other people coming from other countries and around the world, around the country. You know what I mean? Just so it looked good for them. But none of these people are saying, oh, here, you know what? If I'm going to make $50 million on this film, I mean, I know I got $250 million sitting in a bank account that I'm never going to spend, but maybe I'll donate $1 million of my what I'm paid for this film to stop homelessness, feed the hungry. Maybe I'd care more about Hollywood. Until then, I could care less if they don't have a job, because there's thousands and millions of other people that don't have a job and are worried about struggling day to day. And we're worried about if a millionaire can go back in a studio. I could give a fuck less about them.
Yep. So, if no one else has an opinion, I'm going to hit one last thing, because it's beginning to be a problem. But thank God for moderators and being quick, fast, and taking things out of chats to where I don't even see them. I did not even see a certain comment that was posted a few minutes ago. I was sent I was sent the screenshot of it.
And just let Ace and Shadow and all them know we said hi.
So
when you get your YouTube channel back, or your YouTube account.
So don't fuck around and post some derogatory things inside of our chat. Especially things of that nature that you had posted, completely inappropriate. It's not worth it. With that said, I'm not going to harp on it. But what I am going to do is feel free to join SAFR. great group of guys, great community. We've got a great leadership team. We've got great members that are with us. The link to join is always in the bar, in the description. Press that link, join the Discord, join us over there for nightly patrols. We've got events, all that good shit. Feel free to join, but don't fuck around in my chat on my YouTube and think you're going to get away with it. It's not going to happen. Getting pretty tired of people.
If you need to go out somewhere and buy you a trauma teddy and go have fun somewhere else, but not here.
Exactly.
Anyways,
We don't disrespect.
Till next time, this was the SquadCast. Thank you all for being here. I'm the Delta BB.
I'm Jess.
Oh, it's Leprechaun.
It's Hammy.
Decoy.
Nate's Blaze.
Peace.